you're woke. Congratulations. Welcome back. The next pillar is awareness. This is incredibly important because you can be awake and you can be aware that you're awake, but if you're avoiding, none of it matters. And so this is about awareness and really stepping into it. So creating a whole world of awareness. This video, this pillar is a little bit more technical and specific, so we're going to dive in. Feel free to take notes. Of course, there's going to be workbooks and programs for you to add this to, but you doing the work right now, picking up on what you hear in this video is so important because you're going to get what you get and you're not going to get what you're not ready for. I want to make sure to say that very early in this course, because wherever you are in your process and your transformation, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. When you're ready, you're going to hear the same quote that you've heard 100 times. You're going to seem to hear it differently, or it's going to make new sense to you. You may even go through this course. Once you've bought it, it's yours. So you may go through this course multiple times and really evolve these pillars and ascend higher and higher and higher as you create more and more awareness, because you're never introduced to something that you're not ready for. A great example of this is when entrepreneurs start and they're putting out their product, they're putting out their idea, and they're scratching their head like, how am I not a millionaire yet? Because you ain't ready for it, boo. You got to continue to grow. You have to grow your awareness. You have to continue to awaken to the fact that there's new levels all the time. And I want to encourage you, if you've been in your growth process and you're wondering like, when does this end? You know what? It doesn't. You're always growing. And so we're going to continue to create more awareness for you to continue to evolve yourself. So we're going to dive in on the light and the shadow and break this down very specifically. So the first thing to get aware of is your incompletions. So completion, also considered in that 3D reality, considered closure, right? Like, so through a tough breakup, you want all the answers. You want to know why they did what they did. You want to know why it didn't work out. You feel as if closure externally is going to have you say, okay, I'm better now. I can move on. I want to invite you to just give that up right now, right here. Your incompletions, where you are incomplete with your past, is on you. And it's your responsibility, putting your past in your past. If you are talking about something and it still drums up emotion, you still cry about it, you still get tight feelings like anxiety or stress or anger or resentment or guilt or shame, any of those are incompletions about your past and the way that it's gone. You have to be aware of your incompletions, because here's what happens in life. You're at the store and someone looks like someone else and you immediately feel the tension as if that's that actual person. Or you get rejected from a job, like you don't get the job, and it reminds you of when you didn't get the job in high school, or you failed, or everybody laughed at you and you realized it's not safe for me to express myself, or a breakup caused you to think that I'm unlovable. So you've got to recognize your incompletions in life and get complete. So how do you get complete? I have plenty of tools and exercises to do that, but the first thing that you have to do is realize where in your life you are incomplete. And so there's plenty of work for you to do in the workbook, questions and prompts for you to continue to move forward in discovering your incompletions and completing them. And if you want the one-on-one attention that I am incredibly skilled at, completion work, soul purpose work, all of that, if you're ready to do the one-on-one, you want me to hear what you're up to, you can always inquire with me about what it looks like to work further and more closely and more intimately. But incompletions, completing them, are absolutely essential to your forward momentum. And the next thing to build awareness around, especially in the shadow side, is your ego or your inner critic. That's that chatter that never stops. You wake up and it's starting. You're midday, it's going. You're going to bed, you remember all the things it's talking to you about, what you did do, what you didn't do, what you did wrong, the conversations, like on and on and on. Your ego's job is to look good and stay safe. It is keeping you looking good and staying safe. So when you're resisting doing anything that seems scary or unpredictable or unfamiliar, it's very likely your ego is trying to keep you sitting still in that and wondering and listening to the chatter and talking yourself off the ledge of bravery because it's unfamiliar. But your ego doesn't serve your greater purpose. Your ego doesn't serve your ascension. It really disrupts your ascension and your progress and your process and your trust and surrender as well. It is an invitation to create awareness. We'll get more into what to do with it later, but to know it's there. So I want you to consider this. It's this ambient noise in the background of your life. It's kind of like all the time. The moment you're born, it starts. And the moment you die, it goes away because you join infinite intelligence and you already know everything there, okay? And so as you are born, this chatter, this noise starts, and it takes on, as you grow, it actually takes on the voices of your elders, the voices of the TV and the radio and your teachers and your coaches and your friends and peers. It takes on the voice of others because it's not you. That's the awareness to walk away with. The inner chatter is not you. It is years of conditioning. It is years of someone else's say so. You already know you. This right here is you. So go ahead and make your fist. This is you, and it starts up here in your heart. You're here, you're ready to live and live your purpose. And then life happens. This is your infant years and your toddler years and your adolescence. And then middle school comes in and high school and sports and clubs and college, and then your relationships and your jobs and your degrees and all of the things. And you get stuck way down there. Way down there. And that's what triggers, you're in the 3D. That's what you're stuck in, is the 3D, the right, wrong, the good, bad, like shame or great job, like that a boy, that a girl. You get wrapped up in that. We all do, and it's okay. But at some point you realize those achievements, those victories, those failures and disappointments, they're all very unfulfilling. They don't really have you tapped into who you are and what you're capable of and what's possible for you. So you must recognize that that voice is not you. And when you do, you're able to detach yourself from it as part of your decision-making process. That is the awareness that you need. Oh, hi, inner critic. Thank you, ego, for showing up. Thank you for your opinion. I'm going to move on with what my soul's purpose is. Because again, those voices being the voices of other people telling you it's not safe, it costs too much, self-love is selfish, you're being like, all of those old stigmas and paradigms are just old stigmas and paradigms. They don't belong to you. And if you quiet that noise long enough, or you recognize, because again, it's an ambient noise that's present throughout your whole life. You don't get to shut that off. It's just there. It's a mechanism of the human conditioning, the human body. So let that be. It's part of you. And if you just let it be and you can move it to the side and then tune back into yourself, you're going to be able to make sound decisions that you approve of, that guide you closer and closer and closer to your dreams, your desires, and your soul's purpose and passion and path. So when you're willing to be a risk taker, your ego is going to freak out. Your inner critic, that chatter may get louder, and it's okay. It is not your inner guide system. So it's not something to be followed. You can hear it, move it, and move on. Along with the inner critic and the ego is your inner children, which we kind of talked about in the awakening process. Our inner children are frozen in time at a time in our past when we learned the world's not safe, or we thought there's something wrong with me, or I am a burden. We tell ourselves certain things at certain ages in our process that we then believe. We accept them. We internalize them as truth about us. Now, this is what I refer to as limiting beliefs and disempowering contexts. All of these are tied together. Now, we're in the shadow side of the awareness pillar. So can you feel the darkness of these pieces, these factors at play? Your awareness around them is something that will set you free from them. They will not go away. They're as permanent as your left arm. Your inner critic is here to stay. Your inner children are here to stay. You are the one who becomes more aware of them, and you learn to manage and master yourself. So the inner children, what happens when they freeze in that moment of time, in that moment of survival? It's telling you, this is how we survive. We throw a temper tantrum and people leave us alone. We act stubborn and people leave us alone. What we're doing is we're creating a way to be left alone so we can go hide out, or we can protect our identity. But we're really trying to push people, things, and opportunities away. And this is a limiting belief system. You're then not given the opportunity to grow. You're not given abundance because you're hiding from what you think is a risk. You're hiding in scarcity as if you can't have it your way or you don't get what you want. And you're maintaining that belief system that you've believed that your 5-year-old self created. Incompletions, which we started with, understanding what you're incomplete with in your past is causing your limiting beliefs and your disempowering contexts. We're going to move this equation forward. Your limiting beliefs and your disempowering contexts are creating your self-sabotaging ways. Being stubborn, playing small, consistently telling yourself you're not good enough. Whatever it is that you know you do. So I want you to think about, what does that inner critic say to me that has me not take the next step forward? You act in a disempowering way, and so you sabotage. You will get all the way up to the finish line. You could practically pluck the damn thing and you're going to chase the next distraction, or you're going to start walking backwards and you're going to start avoiding finishing anything. Are you a procrastinator? That's probably one of the biggest ones. We procrastinate because we think we can't succeed, or we fear how it's going to be when we get there. Your relationship to your success is absolutely vital. Understanding your relationship to success, your relationship to relationships, all of that. You are constantly sabotaging your true success, and it keeps you in a looping pattern. This is a shadow side of awareness, because if I listen to the who am I to do that? I'm too small to make such a big difference. I can't make a big enough impact that I really want to make. If I believe that, I would not be recording this video for you. We all have this equation going on in our life, and it runs us. But when you become aware, you can run it. So that is the shadow side of the awareness pillar. In the beginning of the one-on-one work I do, this is the light side of the awareness pillar. Creating awareness around your divinity, your purpose and your calling and your gifts and your passion and your possibility and your capability. I just want to throw all those words at you so you can begin to feel the light and the love as I call you into your awareness around how incredible you are. You're going to have to believe that you are freaking amazing. The impact that you specifically have is irreplicable. Think about it. My hands, my mouth, my physicalness, my body can only reach so many people in this world. No matter how big or famous I ever become, Tony Robbins, he still doesn't impact every single human on the planet, right? Directly. But the ripple effect that we have when we are living in our greatness is what we're here to do, is to continue to reach outward and outward and outward, and trust that the divine is going to put us exactly with who we need to be, where we need to be, when we need to be there. So trusting and creating awareness that you are a puzzle piece in a giant universe that fits perfectly. And so the longer you stay in that job you hate, the longer you stay in that toxic relationship, the longer you add weight to your body and limit your range of motion, and you continue to create your health as a problem as opposed to a solution to what needs to be happening in the world, as long as we keep creating problems, which is what our ego and looping patterns are so great at, we play a very small game. You don't have to have some $1 million idea or vision. Your goal doesn't have to be famous and impacting millions. It has to be that you are doing what you know you're here to do. If that means raising a family and raising children, or starting a business, or writing a book, or whatever, painting a picture, you have to accept what you are here to do, and no one else can tell you that. It is so important for you to understand, awaken to, and be aware that you already know. It's in here. You are being given messages. You are not receiving them always. You've got to tune in. You have got to listen in to what you're being told from inside. And so the light side of the awareness pillar is about trusting your intuition, becoming aware that there's another voice other than the inner critic. Your inner being is whispering, and it's always whispering. You have to listen more deeply. You have to be willing to quiet the external noise and find where you are most in tune to who you truly are. When you can truly accept how amazing you are and you have that awareness, like, oh my God, I'm brilliant. When you truly realize how brilliant you are and that your job is to go and radiate, to go deliver your gift, the other pillars are so simple to get into and understand and work with, because you really get, wow, I must deliver this gift. I've been given desires because it's calling me forward into making that biggest impact and contribution. You truly are amazing. And I invite you to spend some time in the mirror. After this video, I want you to spend 15 minutes in front of the mirror and just be with yourself. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to say anything. Just be with who you are and begin to notice what shows up. Notice the love and light. Look deeply into your eyes and see the leader that you are arising and seeking permission to be.